Hi, it's Mr. Wasemann again, and today we're going to look at division problems that require us to have a remainder in our answer. So let's go ahead and get started with the first problem, 27 divided by 2. Now, as you know, 27 is an odd number, and the definition of an odd number is that it is one that cannot be evenly divided into two equal groups. So we know we're going to have something left over. So we're going to follow our process of divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, check what's left, and either repeat or determine the remainder. So I look at my divisor of 2, and I think how many groups of 2 can I get out of 2? Well, that would be 1, because 1 times 2 is 2. I'm going to subtract the difference. Now, I'm going to bring down the 7, and then I check what's left. Is 7 bigger than 2? Well, yes, it is. So that means I'm going to repeat the process. So now I ask myself, how many groups of 2 can I get out of 7? Now, I can use my skip counting to help me. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 is too big, so the closest number of groups of 2 I can get without going over is 3, because 3 times 2 is 6. So I subtract the difference, and that leaves me with an answer of 1. 1 is smaller than my divisor, so that means that now I have something left over. In other words, a remainder. Now that remainder can be represented in one of two ways. I can either just write remainder 1 off to the side, or I could write a fraction with the remainder being my numerator and my divisor being my denominator, 1/2. Let's take a look at another problem. I'm going to jump down and let's look at 67 divided by 3. Once again, I'm going to start with my my steps, division. So 6 can be divided into 2 groups of 3 because 2 times 3 is 6. I'm going to subtract the difference. That leaves me with 0. And then I'm going to bring down the 7. Now this time I'm going to divide 7 into groups of 3, or how many groups of 3 can I get out of 7? And that would be 2, because 2 times 3 is 6. So same process as the problem directly above it, but I get a different quotient. And it's 22, remainder 1. I think this time I'll represent the remainder as a fraction, 22 1/3. Let's look at one more. Let's do 77 divided by 5. Now, of course, anything divisible by 5 should end in a 5 or a 0, so I know I'm going to have a remainder. Let's see. I can get one group of 5 out of 7, because 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract the difference. Bring down the 7. And now I begin again. After checking that 27, yes, it is bigger than my divisor, so I can get more groups of 5 out of it. How many groups? Well, I know that 5 times 5 is 25, and when I subtract the difference, I'm left with 2. So my remainder is 15 and 2 left over. Now remember, when you have a remainder, you need to write that next to the quotient at the top of the division bracket on top of the house. Again, if you have questions, please have your parents email me or bring your papers with your questions circled, and we will discuss them tomorrow in class. Thank you very much.